Disillusion struck me when I realized that you needed to spend $60 a year to play games online. I hated every bit of that, and I know you guys hate that shit too. It was jarring as someone who grew up with the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Wii. Do you want to know what was like not helping at all? Having to buy new controllers due to stick drift. I know that gaming comes with costs, your time, your money, but some expenses are just not worth it and never will be. There's always going to be a straw that breaks the camel's back, and that was another $500 and a $30 increase to play online. Honestly, that $500 price tag is a little bit outdated now. The PlayStation 5 was out. It was being scalped to high hell and being resold for exorbitant prices. PlayStation Plus was priced through the roof with its 3 new tiers to its subscription model. What was there for me to do? Build a PC. I put together years of research from being obsessed with computers and all types of nerdy stuff, and I gathered the parts I needed to build one. And long story short, that was 2 years ago, and I regret nothing. I switched to PC, I haven't looked back, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, what's the cost of purchasing a modern console? You got a multi-$100 price tag, you have expensive subscription models, and increasing base prices for games, which affects PC as well. Not only that, a less competitive market, resulting in higher game prices than PC, even when on sale. Those $100 price tags may not be as deterring as a hypothetical price or cost of a PC build. However, PC lacks the additional costs that come with a console. Your average modern console is anywhere from $450, at least when we're talking about the Nintendo Switch, to $800. The PlayStation and Xbox, primarily the Xbox, come at the higher end of that ratio. Microsoft revealed price hikes for the console, as did Sony, and not only that, they also revealed price hikes for their subscription model. We love that. When you buy a PlayStation or Xbox, you need to pay a subscription to play paid games online. Of course, that means it's not required for every game, but it still creates an expensive barrier to entry for many gamers. A barrier to entry that should not even exist. And it racks up monthly costs for a hobby that, if you were to have a PC, wouldn't exist. For PC, you would spend what you spent for the computer itself, maybe some extras if you need like a desk and all that extra shit, but that's about it. You're not getting drop kicked in the chest with subscription prices every freaking month.
Hey bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!
The point is that when you buy everything you need for a computer, that's that. And then, of course, you have the extra costs that come from the video games that you purchase. Now, talking about subscriptions, for PlayStation fans, the most cost-effective yet pricey tier of that subscription, PlayStation Plus Essential, is a hefty $80 a year. Xbox players have Game Pass. While not as pricey as its Sony counterpart, still puts up a needless barrier to entry all the same. It's not just about the cost, it's about the fact that you shouldn't have to pay to use your internet on a game you purchase on your console. Not to mention increasing prices for games. For a while, $60 was the standard, but tides have been turning and $70 has been ushered in. But the AAA industry has been trying to push the boundaries of that $70 standard. Gamers at large have already felt the economic pressure of having to fork over $70 for games, yet companies have been trying to pry an extra $10 out of consumers. And don't get me started on games that charge you $10 to upgrade them to the next gen. Just another way for companies to nickel and dime you. Alright, this part is about personal reasons and expanding on issues I mentioned in the first part. Hands down, paying to play online is a scam. We know this. Next point. Now let's talk about the features of these subscription models. Steam, GOG, and Epic Game Store all have free cloud save functionality. Though, there's a cost. Not every game supports it. It's not that big of a deal though, because most games you play will have it, and every game I've played so far has it. It might be kinda difficult to find games that don't have that functionality. If you care about making sure your saves are safe and backed up though, that's something you can easily do for free on PC with the power of FOSS, free open source software. SharePlay exists on PC. It's hosted by Steam, and it's called Remote Play. This feature makes it possible to stream games from PC to multiple other devices. However, Remote Play's best feature is no doubt the ability to invite your friends to play games with you. All you need is Steam, a game that supports Remote Play, and about 1 to 4 friends you can invite to play with you. You might be able to buy a RTX 5090 before meeting that last requirement. Damn. Anyways, SharePlay? You don't need a subscription for it. And what about the free games? Of course! There are free games on here. Epic Game Store has a weekly free games program. It's not that special. I don't really like the games that you get on there. I mean, I did get some good shit on there, I won't lie. But it's there. Amazon Prime Gaming has a free games program, but you need Amazon Prime, so technically it's not free. It just comes with no extra costs. And it's there. It exists. This is important. Also, who doesn't have Amazon Prime? Like, I'm not judging if you don't, but how don't you? Okay, anyways, the main thing that makes me like the Prime Gaming choice is the fact that claiming these games gives you redeem codes for them. And when you redeem these games using these codes, you get to keep the games. There isn't this system of you canceling your subscription one day and losing access to these games. The games are yours when you claim them. So for the idea of getting access to free games, you don't necessarily need a subscription to be able to get access to free games, but you can just go ahead and do it through Amazon Prime if you want to. I wish there wasn't a subscription service on the table at all, but that's the hurdle you'll have to jump over. And I've been able to get some fire-ass games through Epic Game Store and Amazon Prime. Now, the sales are better here. What? You want me to elaborate? Okay, picture this. Picture this. Hella storefronts. Hella competition. Hella competition? Hella low prices. The sales are consistent and explosive when they come. Pause. As you can see, the prices can get quite low, and that's due to players not being locked into a single storefront or ecosystem. The price is lame on EGS, get on GOG. Prices could be lower on GOG, or maybe you want to use the storefront that most players use, get on Steam. The market's still looking like some shit. Start Pirate for legal and obvious reasons. That was a joke. You can just hit up r/game deals. That might do you some good. Part 3, the wrap up. Alright, so this is a spitballing point. I'm just gonna be saying shit. There's been this meek little point brought up about PCs and PC games needing tweaking. It's far-fetched. A lot of games automatically detect your system specs. This automated system tries to configure things optimally based upon what you have built into your computer. There are also presets. This is more common than the automatic configuration feature. Just set the game to either low, medium, or high. And we're not going to talk about ultra settings, okay? We don't have time for all that, alright? Wasted performance. Doesn't even look that much better. You can barely see the damn difference. And it's not difficult to learn what all the settings are. Change a couple of things and see how it changes your game. See what differences you see, right? And then you can search up what all the settings do. You can learn this within like 2 days, and I'm honestly being generous with that. Now what about the other tweaking that you do? Yeah, all that shit with the drivers and whatnot. Let me hold your hand when I say this, okay? You will never have a reason to fuck around with drivers on a PC. Thing is, drivers are installed when you first install your operating system, and they're updated by any following Windows updates. And these updates are automatic. And for GPU drivers, install them yourself, and it's pretty simple to do that. Just go download them. And the thing about drivers is it's like your consoles install drivers and shit too. That's what these system updates for, and that's what it does when you first turn the PlayStation or Xbox on. And I'm talking the first time ever, fresh out of the box. That's what it's doing. It's freaking installing the operating system, setting the drivers up. Now, it can be confusing at the start, of course, if you don't know what the heck you're doing or where to start. But with the right resources, you can learn about PCs rapidly. There's plenty of channels on YouTube right now that simplify the selection process of PC parts and the learning process of PC in general. PC Part Picker is the main website for PC users to use to put together parts lists. Let's just say you still want a console-esque experience, and you want an experience that is a bit more portable. The Steam Deck is your buddy, and its game compatibility is very solid. You can literally play Cyberpunk on the damn thing. It is quite literally a handheld PC, and it's running off Linux. And don't get me started on those weak-ass controllers that develop stick drift. What's worse is that they cost anywhere from like, what, $60 to like $75, unless you buy one on sale. Hall effect controllers help They're your best bet to avoid stick drift, but those controllers aren't immune to it. The biggest advantage of them, though, is the fact that it will probably take years for it to develop stick drift and start tweaking, and then you can just fix it yourself or buy a new one. And yeah, you bought a new one, which means you spent more money than you freaking probably would have, and you just bought a computer or whatever. Who cares? The thing is that instead of it taking a few months for it to develop stick drift, that is better than what you have to deal with when freaking buying these. I mean, what are these expensive hunks of garbage from Sony and Xbox? And when it comes to repairing tech, for me, iFixit.com has never done me wrong. And I think it's really important to learn to repair things and protect your right to do so. And find a way to get companies to stop making it harder for you to do so. Bottom line, with greed surging in the gaming industry and the economy becoming less and less friendly by the day, I think it's important to be more conscious about where your money is going and how much of it is going. What is the most cost-effective way to enjoy your hobbies? Are buying into price hikes worth it? Start some conversations about this in the comments. Let me know what you agree or disagree with. I gotta leave. Deuces, get the fuck out of here.